So good morning. I thought I would do a video on the garden. It's kind of late to be doing it. This is, after all, almost the end of September. But my fuchsia, this one was so gorgeous and it's on the downside now. That one, most of the blooms are gone. The dahlias are so pretty and it's almost all budless now. Not looking very pretty. This one, hummingbird sure like this one. Guevara daisy. Slugs are eating on that. There's the fuchsia there. That tree. Sure pretty this year, starting to form cones. This tree is grafted. This was grafted about, I don't know, 25 or 30 years ago now. It's really a nice tree. The pond, see, well, I pruned up all of the trees. They look a little better. Yeah, everything's kind of on the decline now. Hostas, slugwood and eating it galore. The prickly rhubarb. That's really, leaves are starting to die back on it. Man, there's a giant spider there. Stuck. Hanging right across here. Gonna walk through. Let's see the fish. There's koi are in there somewhere. They're hiding. I don't see any. Oh, there's one down there. Couple. They're down there. That's 3 to 4 feet deep, so it's hard to see them when they're clear down the bottom. These couple. And that's the big pond. And my beetle juniper here really suffered. We had hot weather and we were gone and it didn't get enough water and it really died back on the top. It's coming out of it, but it sure looked bad. I trimmed some of the dead stuff out of it. It sure looks bad. This tree is 94 years old. So sure not looking very good. A little look at the trees here. Cotoneaster is one I started here. It's about 20 years old. Trying to make a cascade out of it. Pine trees. Beetle juniper in the rock here. It's just a bunch of ferns growing on there. And the grape plant. Another juniper. The blue. Growing on a rock. Cotoneaster. Always been a nice one. That one's about 40 years old. Here's little trees. Albertas, there's a grove of 3 with these little trees. I've let the ferns growing. There's a sword fern, a local sword fern. Pines. Really filled out with their Alberta spruce. These are about 45 years old. 40, 45. Mugo pine. Another Alberta spruce. Can't remember what that's called. Cypress. elms, acer. This one, trying to shape it differently. This was a gift for a friend's funeral, and it was already had a different kind of a shape, so I've been trying to reshape it. So really filled in nice this year. Another juniper, variegated juniper. Doesn't look very good though. Haven't had time to work on it. Another cypress, and my big wisteria. That wisteria is around 60 years old. It was beautiful again this year. This is the cedar of Lebanon. This tree is about 70 years old. Johnny Shida from San Francisco helped shape this tree about, oh my, 30 or so years ago now. It's been quite a while. But he helped me train that into a cascade. Turned out to be a beautiful tree. It also suffered from that awful heat and being too dry. So did this one. Trident maple. And another maple. These are maples, oaks that I got starts up. And this is a local big leaf maple. It was a lot taller. I've been starting to cut it down. It's about 20 years old. Tree that came from a man who lived on Sixes River. It was a beautiful tree. It also suffered from some heat loss, those lower limbs. I didn't have the heart to cut it back this last year, so I didn't, with the big leaf maple. And this pine tree was beautiful. It was so full on the bottom, and I have no idea what came into our yard and just absolutely destroyed it. It ate all of the limbs, all of the buds. It took everything off the bottom. And the top went crazy this year. A beech, that is a beech. This is a hornbeam. These are Alberta spruce, the pair of them here I've got in training. So hopefully be nice trees someday. Hornbeam is also around 50 years old. And this spruce turned out to be a beautiful little tree. Really cleaned that up this year. Looks really nice this year. Just looking around the yard. Got things trimmed up. My railroad signs. Got the azaleas all trimmed. This one also was one that I almost lost, but it's coming back. It's doing much better. This one also heat got to that. It was dry. The box with cotoneaster. New leaves already. Lilac. This one really took the heat hard. Really had to die back on top. It was really burned. So I've been kind of leaving it alone. But looking pretty good now. The pine. That fir tree came from Diamond Lake about 40 years ago. I gathered that off the shore there. You legally could take 3 trees, and I did gather 3 trees from there. So that's just taking a look at the garden. There's the pond again, back side of the pond. Yeah. So that's my garden this year, kind of the tail end. That tree is a blooming cherry tree. And I braided the limbs. There's 4 loops that are all braided. So I did trim it back a little bit here. It's getting too tall. And of course the wisteria that goes across the top, that's trying to bloom again. So that's the yard. All the trees. Thanks so much for watching. If you made it all the way through the video, please subscribe. Tell others about my videos. If you enjoy this kind of thing. I enjoy gardening. So that's my collection of bonsai trees. Our shop buildings. That was my grandfather's trellis. He built that in 1926. So I've always kept it nice. So anyway, there's a look at the garden. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.